I got a question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look?
Damn.
147. Shit, if I
147.
tap that trend, you know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know
he
he
ain't
is.
got no chance.
I already know he is.
Said no chance.
I got round 5.
Shit, I got round 6.
And I got a metal shield. And the opposite person got a glass shield. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, but how much he run around once them hands get on him, it's gonna slow him down. And once definitely if he touch him.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that moving up 2 weight classes and daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147 for him.
I'm with you. We're going to make sure, tell Terence Crawford, keep his name out your mouth. You know what I mean? He talking crazy. He talking crazy. You think about that one?
Nah, it was just some, talking on some Twitter, like back and forth. I was joking around, but people, you know how people do this. I'm the face of boxing, so they make a big deal.
Hey, listen, face of boxing, Mr. Knockout King right here.
So boxing pound for pound number 1, Terence Bud Crawford was going back and forth with another pound for pound fighter, Gervonta Tank Davis, and it's more than fair to say that it went too far, where Gervonta resorted to dissing Terence Bud Crawford family, his wife and his kids. If you don't want to hear what led up to that and the full story, and you just want to hear Crawford's response to Gervonta disrespecting his family, then you can fast forward till the end of the video. I'm going to leave the timestamp in the description box below of where exactly on the video Crawford responded to Gervonta disrespecting his family. Now let's talk about what led up to that first. Surprisingly enough, Gervonta, who didn't want to work with Turki, who initially turned down a Turki offer to fight Devin Haney for his biggest payday. At that time, Turki offered Gervonta a massive offer to fight Devin Haney before the Ryan Garcia fight. Well, Gervonta rejected. He didn't even want to hear it. However, now all of a sudden, he was dissing Turki because he wasn't invited to the Ring Magazine Festival. This is not the case that Turki didn't invite anyone that he doesn't work with, because Turki invited Canelo Alvarez, Teofimo Lopez, and Ryan Garcia. All of these fighters and more didn't work with Turki before. Well, that's when Crawford stepped in and checked Gervonta Davis for dissing Turki. And that's what led to Gervonta dissing Crawford family. But it all began with Gervonta flexing on Crawford, telling Crawford, I still make more money than you. Because see, Gervonta can't talk legacy with Crawford. He can't talk greatness with Crawford. So he figured, I can talk money though, until Crawford checked him when it came to that department as well. You see, we all know when it comes to legacy, Crawford already smashed all of his rivals. He didn't just beat them, he destroyed them. He knocked them out, from Errol Spence to Sean Porter, etc., etc. There's no secret. Floyd Mayweather passed the torch to Bud Crawford. He's been the pound for pound number 1 since Floyd Mayweather and Andre Ward retired, becoming a 2-time undisputed champion in 2 different divisions and a champion in 4 different weight classes. So pretty much Crawford already beat multiple champions, multiple pound for pound fighters, multiple undefeated fighters, multiple gold medalists, silver medalists, you name it. Bud did it all. And at 37, 38 years old, he's still daring to be great by moving up 3 weight classes one time, or 2 at the moment in time, to fight Canelo Alvarez in his 6th weight class, something that has never been done for undisputed if Canelo can get past William Skull. You see, this is why Gervonta didn't want to talk legacy. He didn't want to talk greatness with Bud, since he already knew what time it was. Gervonta has yet to fight his rivals, the Devin Haney, the Shakur, the Keyshawn, even the Lomachenkos of the world, the Teofimo Lopez of the world. So he can't talk to Bud about legacy nor greatness, because what Inouye and Gervonta are not even dare to think about, Bud Crawford is daring to do, which is moving up multiple weight classes, one time to his 6th weight class to fight the undisputed champion Canelo Alvarez, who Gervonta said, "That's me at 168. I'm the Canelo of my division." Well, since Gervonta didn't want to move up to fight Bud, Bud is willing to move up multiple weight classes to fight the Gervonta of the 168-pound division, the undisputed champion there, Canelo Alvarez. That's why Gervonta couldn't talk legacy nor greatness with Bud, which is why he resorted to talking money. Then when Terence Bud Crawford came out and checked Gervonta in that department as well by stating, quote, "By the way, little guy, don't speak too soon because you definitely not making more money than me fighting who you've been fighting. That's why you talking about fighting Ryan again." Bud is referring to Gervonta asking for $150 million to fight Ryan again at 140 in a division Ryan is not going to move back down to again. Ryan made it very clear he's not moving back down to 140. So for Gervonta to be calling out Ryan, a fighter no one is asking Gervonta to fight again. We asking Gervonta to fight Shakur, Keyshawn, Devin Haney, at least Teofimo Lopez, if he can't get Lomachenko at the very least. But he want to talk about Ryan, who doesn't want to do VADA testing, who doesn't want to do any rehydration clause. Matter of fact, he doesn't even want to make weight. We all know Gervonta is not going to agree to any of that. In fact, leading up to their fight years back, I'm talking about 5 to 4 months before the fight, Gervonta told Ryan, if you don't enroll with VADA early, I'm talking about 3 to 4 months before the fight, then we have no fight. That's who Gervonta want to call out for $150 million instead of his rivals that he haven't fought yet. Devin, Shakur, Keyshawn, Teofimo Lopez, and Lomachenko. You can throw Loma out the way, but you're supposed to move down the ladder to who's willing to fight. Therefore, Terence Bud Crawford believes Gervonta is not doing too well because he wouldn't be asking for a Ryan rematch, especially for $150 million. That don't even make sense. Crawford also said, quote, "First thing a dumb rich person says to another rich person is, I got more money than you. I bet you I own more investments than you, and I don't owe $1 in taxes. You can't buy nothing I can't buy that I won't, sir. And that's a fact. Let's see who money lasts the longest, smart guy." End of the quote. And that really pissed Gervonta off, because the moment Crawford said that, that's when Gervonta resorted from talking money, even though he brought it up, to disrespecting Terence Bud Crawford family, his wife and kids, by telling Bud, that's why you got to work overtime because you have a wife that's 380 pounds and 8 kids, which that was extremely low because we all know Bud has a beautiful family and he's doing what a real man would do, which is take care of his own. I'm telling you, Gervonta is making himself look terrible, showing his true colors and character. Money only makes you more of who you are. We all know that. The irony part about it all, though, is that it was Gervonta who brought up the money. It wasn't Crawford. Like I said before, Gervonta brought up the money because he thought it was safe to bring up the money, since he couldn't talk legacy and greatness with Bud. Since when you compare Crawford next to Gervonta, Crawford looks like Floyd Mayweather 2.0 next to Tank. That's why Gervonta chose to talk about money, thinking it's safe to do so. And then when Terence Crawford checked Gervonta in the money department as well by telling Gervonta, I made more money than you, I invested my money better than you did, I don't owe no taxes like you do, and you're not going to make more money in the future fighting who you've been fighting. If you fight Shakur, basically Keyshawn, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, then yes, but not the guys you've been fighting. That's what Crawford is basically telling Gervonta, since Crawford made a whole lot of money fighting the likes of Errol Spence, Madrimov in a sold-out stadium where Turki paid him his biggest payday. On top of the Errol Spence payday where they did nearly $800K on pay-per-view. And now if Crawford lands the Canelo fight, which is going to be the biggest fight since Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao, then without a doubt, Crawford surpassed Gervonta in the money department by a long shot, especially when he invested his money well. Again, Gervonta, he's younger, so he can easily make more money than Bud in the long run if he fights Shakur, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and all of his rivals, including Keyshawn. If he does that, then he's going to make more money than Bud as long he invested. But the way Gervonta went off on Crawford after Crawford said that, it don't sound like Gervonta invested his money well. At least not as good as Bud. I mean, where Crawford lives, he owns like 40 homes, and that was before the Errol Spence fight. So you can just imagine now, after he made $25 million against Errol Spence, 20 to 30 against Madrimov, and now probably 40 to 50 against Canelo, along with 3 to 4 million every time he fought 2 to 3 times a year since 2014 to 2024. That's 10 years of that. So the money been racking up when it came to Bud, low key, but he had to come out high key to check Gervonta on the money department. That's what pissed Gervonta so much, to the point where he disrespected Terence Bud Crawford family. That's the reason why. If you don't know, now you know. You see, a thief ear rings when people talk about stealing. They don't necessarily got to talk about him, but that's going to be alarming to them. It says a lot the way Gervonta reacted to Crawford checking him on the money after he brought up the money. But when he went so low to talk about Crawford family, you don't throw stones at people's homes if you are living in a glass house. Crawford could have easily came back at Gervonta and told him, remember when you dragged Ogur in the arena? So let's not talk about family. Lastly, Crawford responded to Gervonta dissing his family from his wife to his kids by saying, quote, Gervonta, look, I got bigger fish to fry. Grow some balls and fight Shakur or Keyshawn. And stop being scared. That's probably why you ran your girl over and beat her ass, because you got no nuts and she know it. Laughing emoji. Well, never mind. Crawford did bring up the incident that Gervonta had with his old girl. Anyways, that's why you don't throw stones if you are living at a glass house. Listen, this is going too far and I don't support any of this. Gervonta is dead wrong for this. If you support what he said, then you tripping because you have no morals. At the end of the day, I saw that Gervonta said something about not being touched, this, that, and the third. But where was this energy at? When it came to Teofimo Lopez calling him a monkey, though, where was this energy at when Ryan said F all of the Muslims and all the N-words with the hard ER? Why didn't Gervonta talk to them like that? By bringing up Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia divorces and their family into this, the way he did to Crawford or to Devin Haney, the way he talked crazy to Devin Haney and defends Ryan for cheating, and the way he's talking crazy to Crawford right now. Like Crawford said, it be your own people that hate on you the most. You already ain't got no support, and then your own people hate on you even more. The Uncle Toms of the world, etc., etc., etc. What I'm trying to figure out is why Gervonta is only being a gangster when it comes to Crawford and Devin Haney or his people. But when it comes to other people that's actually disrespecting him and his own race, his own family, he got nothing to say. The only thing he said to Tio was, when I see him, I'm going to slap him. That's it. While Tio calling him a monkey. He's buddy-buddy with Ryan, While Ryan is disrespecting Gervonta kids, he said he want to kill him. He want to join the KKK to kill all the N-words with the hard ER, which includes Gervonta. You can't be gangster only against your own, but then if it's someone that's not black, then you turn it off. You know what's gangster? Terence Crawford taking care of his family and sticking with his wife all these years. That's gangster. Gervonta started tweeting about how nobody's gonna touch him because if they do, they're not gonna be living anymore, this, that, and the third, which reminded me of Gervonta always going at Devin Haney, saying that Devin is soft, he's not gangster like he is. But in my mind, I'm trying to figure out, when did Gervonta had time to be a certified gangster? Since he's been boxing his whole life, since he was a kid, according to him. And he's been at the top level since he was a kid, amateur and pro. So when the hell he became a gangster without us knowing? In this world, you can't be a boxer and a gangster at the same time. It don't work like that. You gotta pick and choose. Since when it got real, Gervonta never killed nobody. He didn't do no crime like that. The only thing we know that he did, that he went to jail for, was driving drunk, hitting a pregnant woman, and then fleeing off the scene. That's what Gervonta went to jail for. Is that gangster? We all humans, we make mistakes. But when Gervonta was in court, the judge revealed Gervonta didn't even want to say sorry to the woman he hit that was pregnant. He didn't even want to look at her, which is why she chose to give him some jail time. Then when Gervonta was released early to home arrest after a month, Gervonta was crying like a baby, respectfully, on social media, complaining about the judge due to mistreatment, since he wanted to live in a mansion during the house arrest instead of his trainer, Calvin Ford house, that he was assigned the home arrest for. Gervonta even sneaked out to the mansion without notifying the judge, and he got in trouble for that. Is that what you guys call gangster? I thought being gangster is doing the time and not complaining. How you gonna do the crime, but you don't want to do the time? Then that means you ain't no gangster. If you're not willing to do the time, then you are not a gangster. Because to do some gangster shit, the cause of that, the effect of that is gonna be some jail time. I don't know, can you have a gangster complaining about home arrest? That person will never do any gangster activity, since the only thing he fears next to God is jail time. You can't be fair in jail if you a gangster, is all I'm saying. Talking about a real one, the one y'all refer to, because the definition of gangster to me is Crawford. Taking care of your own, taking care of your family, being there is easy to pull a trigger, but it ain't easy to get up every day, take care of your family, hear all the noise, work your job, and provide. Keeping your family together, that's what's gangster. Gervonta is more so a gangster taking care of his family than a gangster doing some activity outside. Because if he was that type of gangster, then something would have had happened to Tio and Ryan. We all know Crawford gets active, especially about his family. Any real one would. So for Gervonta to be the one that brought up the money, then get cooked there by Crawford, but then being desperate to drag Crawford family into this by dissing them, I wish Gervonta had that same disrespectful gangster energy toward Teofimo Lopez, who called him a monkey, and Ryan, who called him the N-word, with his whole family. He's putting his energy in the wrong department. And as long Crawford, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Keyshawn Davis are getting some recognition in the sport of boxing, do not expect Gervonta to retire anytime soon. Tank is not going to let them get all of the money, attention, and glory. Remember, when Devin Haney went to London to do his media workout, the moment Devin Haney did it, all of a sudden Gervonta put out a workout video too, Talk about being petty. The last thing I gotta say is this. At the end of the day, we all gonna die. All our days are numbered. If you have 1 million or 100 million, you're still rich. But if you're satisfied with that 1 million more than the other person who has the 100 million is satisfied with his, then you are richer than him. If you are happy with what the Most High blessed you with, you're not gonna care about what others have, because everything you want, you already have. If you drive a Camry like a rich person drive a Bugatti, then your Camry is a Bugatti, really. In fact, you can be more satisfied with your Camry than the rich person is with his Bugatti. Think about it. If you are more satisfied with your Camry than a person is with his Bugatti, then money ain't shit. What it is appreciation and thanking the Lord for the blessings you have. I saw Crawford driving a Hyundai to some fight. I don't even remember. It was really shocking to see someone with Buzz status doing that, because a lot of these athletes will blow their money on unnecessary things, chains, cars, that in 5-10 years from now, they not worth a darn thing. Some of these cars, their value drops faster than a thought in the street. When you buying designer clothes, you getting the same brand I'm buying. Whatever I'm buying for $40, you buying for $4 or $5K. Guess who you making rich? The company, the brand, the name. The crazy part is one person can be wearing stuff that's $100, and then another person can be wearing stuff that's like $10,000, $50,000 to $100,000, and the person that's wearing stuff for $100 is fresher than the other one. He's flyer than the other one, and he looked more fashionable than the other one. Money and brand names is not where the fashion line is drawn. It's about taste, your own taste. So anyways, that's another conversation for another day. But if you appreciate what the Lord blessed you with, and this goes for everyone that's listening, if you feel like God blessed you with so many things, then you can be considered the rich person in the world, the richest person in the world, because the day we all die, you're not going to take your money with you. You're not going to take your kids with you, these are the most valuable things in life. The only things you are going to take with you is your good deeds and your bad deeds. And the Lord only cares about that. He don't care about your money or your kids, but he do care about how you raise your kids, because obviously you're responsible of that. Just think about this for a second. If all the humans on earth drop their problems and blessings in a basket, and you got to pick new problems and new blessings, you might realize, man, my original problems were blessings. Man, I ended up with no feet, with no vision, with no money, with no home, with no family, whatever God blessed you with that you overlook. As simple as your health. Your health is your wealth. We don't even think about that. So think about that. Recently, Tank went on live talking about how people are not who they say they are, and they don't have good intentions. They just do it for this purpose, that purpose. And I'm like listening to him thinking, weren't you the same guy who defended Ryan for cheating? The same man who said, F your people and your family? But you talking about morals and how fake people are? You got to start with the man in the mirror. One thing I did learn, if you don't listen to an advice that can help you, then guess what? You're going to end up suffering, learning it in real life experience. And you don't want to do that. That's the lesson of the day. With that being said, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, TV. Peace. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.